everyone. My name is Albert and I have a really cheap phone. You guys keep in mind that this is Vlogs About Nothing and I really appreciate you taking the time out of your night to join me. It really does matter and I really do appreciate you. Keep in mind that I'm a 36-year-old unemployed man who's really trying to figure out what I want to do in life. I stream 4 times a day and I have the cheapest cell phone ever. I managed to make these videos on a really cheap old cell phone that I then have to manually upload to the channel one by one, which takes like a whole nother hour. And I don't have a laptop. I don't have any editing software. I don't even have the right kind of lights that you need to really stream, right? But here I am. I'm trying it. It means a lot to me because I am a huge fan of working with what you got. And obviously, when you're not born with much, you got to make it work. You feel me? Because otherwise, you fall between the cracks real easy, and it's real easy to be taken advantage of, exploited, and just completely screwed over IRL by those people that you think are out there to help you. Your employers, your governmental agents, things like that, your politicians. And so it matters to me. A lot of stuff really matters to me, but it matters to me so much that it even outweighs my own sense of sort of minimal narcissism as it concerns like the way I look or what y'all see in the background or what you may or may not think of me. This is kind of just like a real Hail Mary in my life, kind of riding on the last tailcoats of a generation who made what you're seeing possible today. Like to thank YouTube. Anyways, this is what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about dog food. Now, we're gonna talk about dog food while we eat. Mm-hmm. I really needed that. But it's a bacon sandwich. So, dog food is sketch. And I referred to this in the last video, but at what point do human beings understand that what they're doing is completely insane? So, again, I'll go back. Often I use this example quite frequently because it's honest and it's the only way that I can convey to people my sense of honesty from just thinking a little bit critically from an early age and where that's led me to absolutely nothing to here with you guys, which is so much more where I'd rather be than anywhere else. So, think about it like that, right? And regardless, I forgot what I was talking about there for a second. Regardless, when I was a kid, I would, wonder why dogs ate food that looked weird. Wouldn't it make sense that any animal on earth eats like real food? I mean, is that not how it works? Are there human beings that feed wild animals? I mean, is there something about the wildlife that I don't understand? Besides the many things I don't understand? But nonetheless, who thinks it's okay to feed their dog hard pellets? I don't understand this. Most recently, I had an example last year where the woman I was dating, the old grandma, had this really big dog, and she'd get mad at me. And this is kind of like the culture of boomers, honestly, quiet boomers and Xers, is that you feed your dog real food and they'll say things like, "Oh, you're going to spoil my dog. Don't feed my dog real food. What are you thinking? It's going to make him sick. What are you?" It's like, dude, what? So if the dog gets sick from eating food, wouldn't I get sick from eating food? Or is that why I look the way that I do and I'm obese and I have diabetes? What's going on? You feel me? What is going on here? And honestly, people don't, I don't know why they don't think about that or they choose not to. It's sort of, again, why would you feed an animal that lives, breathes, drinks, and shares the same environment anything other than real food? Again, I don't understand this. That's like asking a human being to live off cereal forever. Oh, wait, the CEO of Kellogg's did that last year. Richard of the Year award, I feel like, coming for somebody. Anyways, and what kind of person has the audacity to tell other grown working adults that, they just need to buckle down and eat more cereal? What, dude? What is, what? I mean, again, not every human being eats cereal for every single meal of their day, and I'm sure there actually might be a few, but like let's not talk about those outliers, you feel me? The world's weirdest habits. Yeah, I've seen the guy that only eats mac and cheese. Moreover, he's got a condition that will only really make him feel right when he only just eats mac and cheese. Regardless, dog food is shady. I don't know what is going on with dog food. Again, I've never even owned a dog in my adult life by myself because of that reason. Because of that very reason. Because of I've always legitimately felt like dog food was sketch. Like again, when a dog is wild, for example, I mean, do they go live out in the world as feral animals, like ransacking pet stores for puppy like food from I don't understand this, like human beings, like going out of their way. I mean, I'd have to look at the stats and the numbers, but I'm assuming that if things are stolen in a grocery store, the very bottom of the list is cereal. I'd say no human being is going into stores to steal cereal, right? I mean, because it's like not real food. I mean, I still to this day don't really understand what cereal is. I mean, do you? Do you guys? You be eating cereal your whole life. Do you know what it is? Like, I like, what? Corn flakes? What does that even mean? You telling me that every one of those flakes is a smashed down corn kernel that you put bread around and baked? I'm not sure what that means. And I truly mean that. So it's kind of like the same. I just would never, ever comfortably feed a dog that food. It's not food. I want, the goal for life on a planet, I think, is for the local populations to eat in a way that will propagate their current state, their stature, their state, and I don't think that feeding domesticated animals tailor-made garbage is doing anybody any favors, and in fact that's cruelty to animals. Again, I've heard the argument, most noticeably most recently from last year, you're feeding my dog, that's abuse, stop feeding my dog. It's like, so you don't want me to feed your dog real food? Yeah, like let's just continue to abuse your animal and feed it food that we all know isn't food. Again, like what makes us think that the products we like, is it because it says pet food? I mean, in that event, I mean, look around you. Pets eat a lot of stuff. I mean, I don't understand. I never have understood. I never will understand. Well, I kind of do, right? There's entire industries built, billion-dollar industries built on selling your puppy food. I've always wondered what it costs to make a bag of dog food. Again, things that should be transparent but are never discussed. It's like, how much does it really cost to produce a 10-pound bag of dog food? And I mean by volume, at scale. Like, what is that not, in this world where we're nickel and diming, but really, when you're selling millions, tens of millions of pounds of dog food, like, anytime you sell more of something, your profit margins increase, right? Because you sold more over that period of time. And I say this because, like, why is it can't cost more than a couple bucks to produce a bag of dog food? I mean, after you consider, like, unless you're doing math from the same cost of production that you utilized 50 years ago, I don't understand large companies. I don't understand how they think we're all stupid. But, like, moreover, shouldn't we know better? Like, shouldn't we know better? Like, when we see food, like, should we not know? This is processed food. I understand that. I don't eat it every night. You know what I mean? Again, like, obviously, when humans were around and there weren't any McDonald's, processed food was, a faraway thing as it concerned the timeline of how we ended up here. But we know that Whole Foods not the grocery store. Man, I tell you, sometimes they're. But we now know that whole foods are what we need. That's it. Dogs don't need dog food. We don't need to feed them that dog food. And we need to stop treating ourselves like we're eating dog food. Because again, we're living beings, we're creatures, we're called Homo sapiens. We require food, whole food, not just cornflakes or, not just tater tots or french fries. Again, so to assume that we can continue to treat other sentient life on this planet with such disregard as it concerns their overall safety in their ability to live a long life, again, it's all messed up, Let's make them crazy dog food. Let's keep these dogs sick and let's send them to the vet. That's called drumming up business. Should not be legal. It is criminal, in my opinion, and should not be allowed to happen. But here we are. I mean, people have been feeding their dogs the same dog food for 20 years and think that they're the best people in the world because they have been responsible for another sentient being when in fact, haven't you been straight up abusing that animal forever because, like, you didn't feed your dog food? You fed it, like, stuff that somebody told you was food that you then believed to be food? When, again, like, has anybody not ever seen a bag of dog food and been like, what is that? Like, I don't understand what kind of food that is. Are there, like, I hope that you guys have a really good night. No hates to all my dog lovers out there, you feel me? We're just working with what we got. I get that. But at some point, we got to stop being stupid also, right? And we have to stop perpetuating the lies. All we need to do is feed animals real food, which is kind of hard to do when we live in a country where food is so expensive right now that, like, people are spending the majority of their paychecks on just rent and food. Like, what is that? I hope that you guys have a really good night. Thanks for watching my channel, and I hope that you have a really, really good day tomorrow. Bye!